Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're getting into a new lesson on special parallelograms. So today we are still looking at parallelograms, so we're still going to have to remember all those properties for them, but now we're looking at specific types of parallelograms. In particular, there are 3 different parallelograms that we can have, really special types of parallelograms. We have first a rhombus, which looks like this. And that is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides. And so I have that marked in this picture with these tick marks. That means that all of these sides are equal to each other. A rectangle, on the other hand, its definition is that it's a parallelogram with 4 right angles. And those are those boxes here. And remember that those are equal to 90 degrees. And then a square, on the other hand, that's a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles. So a square is just basically a rhombus and a rectangle put together, those 2 properties put together. And so we have some corollaries to show that a quadrilateral is a rhombus, a rectangle, or a square. For the rhombus corollary, that it says a quadrilateral is a rhombus if and only if it has 4 congruent sides. So if I see a shape that has 4 congruent sides, or all sides are equal, I can automatically then say that it is a rhombus. The rectangle corollary, on the other hand, that is a quadrilateral is a rectangle if and only if it has 4 right angles. So for that one, if I see a quadrilateral and it has 4 right angles, I can then conclude that it is therefore a rectangle. And then for the square corollary, that one says a quadrilateral is a square if and only if it is a rhombus and a square, or a rectangle, sorry. So a square is kind of special in that way. It has to have the properties of a rhombus and it has to have the properties of a rectangle. So if I see a quadrilateral that has 4 equal sides and it has 4 right angles, I can then conclude that is a square. And so this image, this Venn diagram, kind of encompasses all of these concepts of how these all relate to each other. This outer rectangle here, this is representing parallelograms. So we have parallelograms, which their definition was that opposite sides are parallel. And then within parallelograms, you have special parallelograms, which we talked about, which is rhombus, square, and rectangles. For rhombus, that's 4 congruent sides. Rectangle, 4 right angles. And then right in the middle of that Venn diagram is squares, because squares, they have 4 congruent sides, they have 4 right angles, and then their opposite sides are parallel. So square is the most special type of parallelogram because it has all of the properties before it. So I'm going to go ahead and write the properties of parallelograms because we're going to need that for our next few problems. So if you recall, there were 4 different types of properties for parallelograms. The first one was that opposite sides are congruent. The second is that opposite angles congruent. The third was that the consecutive angles are supplementary. And then the fourth was that diagonals bisect each other. So these 4 properties that we learned in 7.2, those are properties of parallelograms. But since rhombuses, squares, and rectangles are types of parallelograms, they also have all 4 of those properties. So that's going to be important when we go into the next video. That's it for this one. You can go ahead and move on to that next one.